So right now I am currently trying to connect this T3 Tentacle Shield to the main Tentacle Shield component. The reason for this is because I do need another circuit that is open and able to use the temperature probe, because on this one there's only 4, and so we need another one for that. So this way I'm just connecting it like this. I'm using Pew's original water testing station document, I guess, because she does have the little connections that are required right here. So I'm able to just connect those, and I am just working the last one here, which is connect the ground cable on here to the ground cable on here, and then it should connect, and we're gonna go from there. So in order to keep it like organized, I guess you could say, I've decided to just like scrap it all, which I've done before, and we're gonna go through it all, and I think that this way I'll be able to organize everything better and also make sense of things. Plus I do also have the added bonus of having Pew's information, which previously I had, but I wasn't really utilizing that correctly, I don't think. So now that I have both of those things, plus the Willie K. Jellstrom tutorials, you could say, I'm going to be able to get a little bit more progress, I believe. The tutorial that Willie K. Jellstrom uses it's good. It's a good tutorial. It does give me all of the different codes that I do need to input into the Arduino system. However, one thing that it does fail to mention is that you will use this little thing here. So this is the T3 Tentacle Shield. It's kind of like a mini type of version of the actual Tentacle Shield. So what I've done is I've connected it to the larger component, and the reason for that is because I do need to have another EZO circuit available for the utilization of the EZO RTD, which is for the temperature. On the original Tentacle Shield, there's only 4 circuits that are available. Therefore, you do need that next one. And it's a little bit funny that it's not mentioned on the Willie K. Jellstrom tutorial, you could say, because when I'm going through the first part of it here, which is basically making sure that each one of these circuits are in I2C mode, and then taking the channel information, which I've done here, I've written down 4. Once he shows that, there's actually 5 channels, which obviously one of them is for the RTD. The problem there is it doesn't mention where that came from. So it's a little bit odd, but thankfully I do have the help of Pew's, both of her information booklets from her project. Therefore I was able to kind of like piece that together. So basically what I'm doing right now is I've gotten the 4 initial channel numbers, but I do need to make sure that I can get the RTD ones. That's what I'm going to be working on right now. So we're going to see together if this has functioned correctly, which I believe it should. So as you can see, this is from my previous test. It says there's 4 stamps found because originally I did have 4. However, I plugged in that 5th, so we are going to type in the command, which is scan I2C, and hopefully it will find 5, but we will see. Alright, so I'm back. I had to fix a few things because I thought I had it all correctly. However, these little wires down here, I had put in the wrong place, which is pretty simple. I should be using different colors. The yellow one was simple, but I had actually put the ground jumper cable into the SDA slot right there, which obviously it's not supposed to be in that. The SDA from the T3 is supposed to be the SDA in here. Anyway, so I fixed that, and as you can see now, I do have that RTD channel, which is 102, which is that's awesome. I actually haven't been able to get that the entire time that we've been working on this, so that's definitely a good breakthrough. That means that it's actually recognizing the RTD circuit, and that way hopefully we'll be able to get temperature readings. So we are going to continue on from there. Alrighty, so right now, as we can see, we got some little blinking going on. This is good. So basically what I've done is I have connected each one of the probes, which you just saw in the time lapse, and including the RTD one, which I had to include in our basic Arduino water analysis sketch for the I2C. As you can see right down here, channel IDs with the 102 is for the RTD, and where am I here? There we go. Channel names DO, ORP, PH, EC, and RTD. So I connected all those, and they're all in I2C mode right now, so they're actually all taking readings. As you can see, the LED is blinking, which means it is taking correct readings. And there's the readings there. So for today's period, I guess you could say, I'm working on getting the SD card reader to function properly. Last semester, that was kind of like our issue type of thing, where the circuits, the EZ circuits were working correctly. However, the SD card logger was just not doing it correctly. So hopefully we will have a few things fixed. So I have wired it here. This is the SD card here. You can see the new SD card that we have here is put into the system. This is the RTC real-time clock. Basically, this one's all wired up to the correct ports and everything, and hopefully it should function correctly. I haven't tested it yet because I do need to put different files and sketches into the Arduino system before I do that. However, fingers crossed that all will work properly, so we will test that here in a minute. This is me editing this. I don't know why, but I didn't film me testing it. However, it didn't work. So, it didn't work. So today is Friday, and today I am working on doing something fun called breadboarding. It is a little bit of a tedious process, but I do enjoy it. It's something that I do know exactly how to do, so it's, you know, I don't have to worry about making too many mistakes. And I'll show you right here. So basically what the point of what I'm doing is, you can see here, I'll use my tweezers as pointing guides. Basically these are the power rails of the breadboard. So there's a positive and a negative, reds for the positive and blues for the negative. And they're not connected by any means. So what I'm doing right now is just connecting them because on this diagram here, it does show them connected. And I want to do that just because I was having issues with the SD card when I just tried it for the second time. It said that it wasn't. Turns out the reason that it wasn't reading it was because I actually had it wired the wrong way. So I fixed that, and it read it correctly, but this is fun anyways. So I didn't know if it's because not all of this is connected per se, so I just figured I might as well do that, just to see if that would help anything or change anything. It's never a bad thing, I don't think, to connect these. So I will be doing that. I do have a little piece here that's made right there, very, very small. It's about as big as my fingers, you can see. So basically I use the pliers, I use these big pliers here to bend that piece there to be able to fit into here. So that's what we're going to be doing now, which I'd show you. However, that would be a little bit difficult with the camera angle, but basically I'm going to do that and then just go from there. So today it is Wednesday, and I am working on doing a little bit for the waterproofing. I include that in my work planner for the next 2 weeks, so I figured I should probably do a little something with that. What I did actually before this, though, is I sent an email to, yesterday I sent an email to Willie Kjellstrom regarding the SD card logging issues. So I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he directed me to contact Atlas Scientific themselves, and I think that's definitely a good idea. I probably should have thought of that, which I didn't. But anyway, so I emailed them, and they received my request, I guess is what they're calling it, because I contacted their support team, so hopefully they'll be able to help me out to some degree. Anyway, so I'm going to wait for a response on them, because he had said that, Willie Kjellstrom said that when he was doing this, he actually had issues with the SD card as well, so he just contacted them directly, and therefore he was able to work things out. So right now what I'm going to do is measure out the holes that I need to for the BNC connectors. So I'm going to take this little measurement here, and I'm going to be using the carbon fiber digital caliper right here. Well, nice little digital caliper, so it'll tell me the width of those, or the circumference, whatever, and I'm going to trace it onto my tube, and I'm going to cut those out. We had done this the first time, but basically I decided to redo it because I just wanted to make it a little bit cleaner, and I think that starting with a new piece will be good, because we kind of were testing a lot of things with the last piece, so I think that now that we know, like, at least now that I know, the concrete design of this, I think that this will work a little bit better. So we're gonna get going with that and go from there. So I've drilled the holes in the tube. I didn't show that in the last video, so I figured I'd show that before the clip's over. So I do have the Tentacle T3 in here, so it's not actually the entire Tentacle shield because that also has a breadboard attached to it. I didn't want to risk moving it around too much with all the wires attached to it when it wasn't going to be like concretely in the tube here. So basically, I have the T3 in here. And you can see that I do have 3 probes. I've just wrapped them around because they're quite long. So basically they hang down about, I want to say 4 or 5 feet. But you can see the holes I've drilled in here. And I drilled 4 so far because there's 4 holes in the Tentacle shield. I'll have to do 1 or 2 more for the T3 one. But anyways, so they're fitting through quite nicely. And I did this design because that way we could easily disconnect and reconnect the probes instead of having to like weave it through the inside type of thing. Anyways, so Mr. Carson was helpful with the drilling of these, and they look a lot nicer than our first ones did, so I'm quite happy about that. So yeah, that was awesome. So I'm gonna get to caulking those things and also drilling other holes for the holder posts type of thing that will connect to the concrete block.